best they would want to be. And I had to think, I saw this surgeon like 3 times, and I realized I was just projecting my fears and my anxiety and my anger about, having to have this operation. And this was an operation where they cut your neck, they slit your throat, they push aside all your esophagus and vocal cords and all that good stuff, larynx, whatever's there. And then they take out parts of your neck bones, and then they replace it with cadaver bones and then titanium. And I'm like, and just, being mad. And the 3 times I saw the doctor who was doing this, I realized, as far as my Buddhist practice going, I'm going to help this person relax. I'm going to help them feel better about who they are and what they're doing. And I'm going to help them have more hope for the future. And every time, I never did that. I never could do that. I was always like so into, my own, my arms across my chest, and what am I going through? But like today, I was feeling the way someone might feel if they had fasted for a week or 30 days or something, and they're coming off of their fast and they just want to taste everything and eat everything, and it can get really crazy. Well, today I was so excited about the new freedom that I have in my body thanks to this surgery, that, I was like wanting to do cartwheels and jump around. Just really, really excited because I was seeing, definitely there was some intelligence behind what I went through. And yeah, I think that love works. And someone who came to take care of me, I felt like, oh, he's taking advantage of, my living on the beach, flew from another state. And I thought, just wanted to be in Florida, just wanted to be, I have like these great kids and wanted to be part of the family. And his way of talking, he grew up just so chauvinistic. Could that be a good word to say? Like, what are you doing out of bed? You're supposed to be in bed. You didn't, just and me being upset with what's this person doing, like, making me feel like this, and realizing that's the language that this person has right now. And am I doing that thing that makes it so I'm helping them feel more relaxed and better about themselves, and cared for, and have greater hope for the future. And really having a hard time doing that. And all I could remember, getting a lot of power struggles, you do this now, this is what. And I remember when that was going on between myself and my daughter when she was a teenager. And I said, Laura, wait right there. And I called the crisis hotline and I said, I need to talk to somebody who knows about working with teenagers. And I asked, told them the situation, what do I do? And they said to me, do you want to win this battle or do you want to win the war? And they said, if you want to win the war, empower the other person, let them feel good, let them feel respect worthy. And I thought that was so brilliant. And so many years later, I'm remembering that statement, interacting with like a grown man. And I hope I'm not taking up too much time for everybody, but, just like did what he wanted. And just, God, it's so easy to just take a breath, love another person, go on with your life. And it's so much more fun, and it's so much easier and so much more beautiful than, these egos, these power struggles, these things we want to get into. So when we're talking about like harmony with the doctor, with the caretaker, yeah, I want to win this war against, or for love, for people caring about each other on this planet. I want to win the war against poverty and against drugs and against cruelty and these little battles. Man, that's like nothing. That's like empower the other person. Go ahead, see if you can do it. And that's what I really wanted to share this week. Did that make sense to you? Did I speak clear enough? put the thoughts together in a logical order so I'm communicating with my fellow human beings.
Beautiful, right? It's all about communication. Absolutely. And adapting, right? And just like, right now here we had like some little technical glitches, some sounds kind of going all over the place, but hey, the show still must go on. We must find a way, work together, and just we need to pivot, right? And it's all about, I always tell people, I called my company Live Creatively because hey, we've got to live creatively. We have to figure out ways of doing things, of helping each other, and you just got to go with the flow. But let's all work together because hey, we all live in this beautiful earth, right? It's all our homes. We live together. We're all brothers and sisters, and so we just got to make it work. And somehow we have that mentality, it will all work out, right? Even if it's not perfect, it's gonna work out.
It'll all work out in the end.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Barbara, I'm so happy to hear that you're able to move easier and do things easier. So the operation was a success.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
I'm glad you have the. I'm glad you have the big, whatever that's called, you had on last week.
Yeah, so I couldn't move my, shouldn't move
That's
my
off.
neck. Yeah, I had to sleep, and it was kind of fun. I was thinking, all right, I'm gonna have this like beautiful neckline, sitting straight up, my head erect. I thought, yeah, it's good for my posture.
Well, I am so glad. And the great thing about what I noticed when you came on the show, even though you had this surgery, you had this big thing that I'm sure was uncomfortable, but you were still enjoying life. And that just makes me think about when people use the word, oh, she suffers from a disability, right? It's like, you're not suffering. I mean, people who don't have disabilities, they suffer with certain things in life, right?
Mhm.
And all suffering means is that they're having a difficult time with something, right? But it's not the end all be all. It's gonna be okay. You're not gonna, it's not a suffering state that we live in constantly because of our disability.
We all suffer at some point, but
Exactly. Right. And again, it's just about learning how to pivot and living and moving and when you need help, ask for it. Right. And it's
Yeah.
okay. We're all here together. We're all enjoying life. Um, and just because you have a disability, you're not suffering. It's just something that you have that you're either born with or you acquire, uh, and it's okay. So we just need to learn to use different words when we're, especially when we're describing a person with a disability, right? It's not, oh, this is Denise and she suffers with a disability. Like, no, hey, this is Denise. This is my friend Denise. This is my other friend Emily. This is my other friend Barbara. This is my friend Kurt, right? We're people first. And it's all about using people first vocabulary, right?
Yes. And I find that when we are living creatively, that takes away suffering. It's amazing. Then it's like being hypnotized. We're not in any suffering. We're not in our bodies right then. We're excited. We're doing something creative. We're doing something with other people creative. That's like the best. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Like even people who are going through um like cancer, right? They pick up a hobby, maybe painting, music, like things that are just uplifting. And like you said, you get into this almost hypnotic state. You get so pulled into your craft, into what you're doing. It's relaxing. It's meditative.
Mm.
Absolutely. So that also brings me to, and when Kurt's here, he's a little bit more focused maybe than I am, but I'm kind of like all over the place. And for those who probably know me by now who are listening to our show, I do kind of go all over. But since we're talking about things that are meditative and relaxing and creative ways of dealing with discomfort, it brings me to the fact that we are still in the month of February. It is the month of love. And I've been talking to a lot of people about self-care. And as a person with a disability, sometimes we have to do things a little differently than the quote unquote, the air quotes of a normal person. So I'd like to ask the ladies here today, and of course, Kurt, if you're able to come on later, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. But I'd love to know, what do you do to care for yourself, to give yourself a little love? Because the more that we love ourselves and take care of ourselves, the more we have to give to others, right? We fill up our cup so we can fill up someone else's cup. So what do you do for self-care?
And I know for me, sometimes I crash 12-step meetings because when I've been doing this Buddhist practice for 55 years, and someone wanted to drag me to adult children of alcoholic parents. And even though I didn't have an alcoholic parent, I had a parent that survived Nazi Germany, and that kind of qualified me. They were talking about people letting themselves run out of gasoline when they were driving more than once. And I had done that. And I thought, wow, this is the class I need to be in. And then I'd find myself being asked to leave because I would get so excited. Another friend wanted me to see, how much these meetings meant to him. I'm like, you guys are so beautiful. Gosh, don't you see this? You're willing to fight for love. You're willing to go through all kinds of things to keep love alive and to build on that. That's so beautiful. And, I would get like, who let her in here? I would, but after all these years, after like almost 54 years, I kind of wiggled my way into where I brought laughter yoga to a retreat and did a laughter yoga circle. And the next year I was invited back. And I find that, being with people where I'm allowed to like love and people are being so honest and respect worthy, that all of a sudden I can breathe better. I feel so grateful to be in that circle and doing laughter yoga. It surprises me. 20 minutes of just being silly and laughing and tapping and the things we do in laughter yoga. Same thing. The person that went into it and the person that comes out of it 20 minutes later, much higher life condition. And of course, chanting. And sometimes it'll take me a while to get past all that noise in my head to come to where my mind and my heart are connecting, with my energy. And it's just such a good feeling. And being with nature, grounding, sun gazing, being in the ocean. I'm not allowed to do that for at least a month, I think I was told. I think sometimes when you're trying to get information, it's good to make an audio of it, because then you can play it back and what you were told, and seeing conflicts between like what one doctor says and what another doctor's saying, and being able to think for yourself and being able to feel some joy in the fact that, hey, I'm smart too.
Yeah.
Can be somewhat relaxing.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Emily, honey, what do you do to care for yourself and have fun and relax?
Well, one of the things, Kurt can say more about this if he can come on. But for like the last year and a half, he and I have been doing what's called the 12 o'clock shakedown.
Ooh.
Which was it was started. It's called 12 o'clock shakedown because it's at 12 o'clock noon Central Time, but it was started by a guy here in Madison. Um, and it's 15 minutes of music in motion. So basically, um, um, music is played, and then uh, you can either follow what his movements and what he does, or you can kind of do your own. Do your own. Um, but it's kind of like he always says about like dance like nobody's watching. So it's kind of uh, like let's say it's somebody that's like kind of dancing in front of a mirror, or I don't know, in their room, like all by them. I don't know, but it's then he always like dresses up in goofy things. Kurt does too, um, and we get handful of people, and it's kind of a lot of fun. Then we have social time afterwards.
That's fun. For sure. Yeah, I've been to I've been to the shakedown in the past, and it's a lot of fun. And it's interesting that you say um that you can just do whatever movements you can, because I have very limited movements, but I do have like a little open area in my apartment where I just use that to roll around. And I roll around in my head. I'm dancing. I'm even doing little cartwheels in my head, right? So I just like I literally feel like I'm doing, yeah, and you imagine it, right? And
Yeah.
your imagination is so powerful, right? You literally feel yourself doing it, so much so that I've even tired myself out just by thinking of it. I literally feel it in my body. And I know that some people might think that that's a little crazy, like, how can that possibly be? But that's how strong the power of the imagination is. And, if you can combine the things that was just said today. So, for those listening, movement so important. Even if you can't do like I do, just imagine the movement, and then the laughter that Barbara was talking about. Oh my gosh, laughing yoga is, well, in my opinion, the best yoga there is, right? Because
Yeah.
even if you right, even if you fake laugh in the beginning, you will for sure end up laughing for real. And every Friday, uh, at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have the Happy Neighborhood Project worldwide networking event. And we laugh. There's well over 100 people. Like, I think this week there was like 130 people at the event. Anyway, there's over 100 people. And we are all there for 30 seconds. We are all laughing. All the mics are open. We're all laughing. And just looking at the people laughing and all the movements and all people, everyone's funny laughs. It's just, you for sure will laugh so hard at the end of that 30 seconds are done and people are still laughing, which makes you want to laugh even more. And then you have to kind of catch your breath because you were laughing so hard. And even that's like, you will feel so relaxed. I'll tell you that. If for those that haven't been to the Happy Neighborhood Project networking events, if you only make that one on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern, that is the one to go to, because you're gonna love it. You're gonna just really enjoy yourself. So that being said,
And I'd really like to share that so much is going on when you're laughing like that you're actually creating neural pathways in like your brain to make it easier and easier to get to a place where you're feeling joy and you're laughing. It's like a muscle that we're building in our brain, these neural pathways, and our body's creating more endorphins, and it's eliminating cortisol, the things that make us feel bad or make us sick. It's all kinds of science behind this laughter yoga. That's laughter yoga really came from Dr. Katari in India. Was so sincere about wanting to heal people. And he would get people to heal. And 5 years later, they're coming up like the same diseases, another part of their body, something like this. And he went, what am I missing? And then he's reading the book, Anatomy of a Disease, by Norman Cousins, who was told he had like 2 weeks to live. And he thought, if I'm dying, I'll die laughing. And I'll save my kids some money. I'll check out of this hospital. I'll check into a cheap motel. And I'll just get all these comedy videos and things. And 27 years later, he's writing about how he felt like laughter really saved his life, bringing up. So Dr. Guattari hears about this, Norman Cousins, and so starts laughter yoga in India. But yeah, there's a lot of science behind bringing up a higher vibration. And actually in Judaism and Chabad, it's the times that you spend where you're really feeling joyful, where you're laughing, you're singing, you're dancing, you're eating wonderful food, you're loving somebody, that the things you would be praying for are manifesting, are happening by us raising our vibration. And Wayne Dyer talked about that. I know Abraham Hicks. So I think we're coming into an age where people are evolving to the point where we're seeing the reality, we're seeing the importance of being happy and helping each other be happy. That there's a lot more to it than our feelings. And people realize, and gosh, doctor, I could just keep on talking. Dr. Who wrote Birth Without Violence, he'd say, oh, what's wrong with your Western world? You just go, oh, it's just feelings. It's just a feeling. But he said, feelings can last a lifetime. Feelings are so precious and important. And I don't know if I shared this before, but I was in an audience and this girl raises her hand and says, Dr. Lavoie, do you think that it's important for the father of the baby to be there when the baby's born? And Dr. Lavoie became like Rumpelstiltskin, knows about that imaginary character jumping up and down. No, you're not getting it. You're all not getting it. And he goes, how do you feel? If you feel it's important, it is important. And yeah, I felt like I was really privileged to get to spend time with that man at that time, and just so want to put these different thoughts together and make it easy for people to say, I followed her flow. I got what she's saying, and how beautiful all those connections, that makes sense, right?
Absolutely. That's so beautifully said. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then we have Curtis here with us today. Oh, wow. I have not seen you in a little bit. So glad that you can come and join us. How was your day? How have you been in general? We've missed you. And by the way, we are speaking today about self-care. We're talking about laughter yoga. We're talking about dancing around, and even if you can't really move a lot, just your imagination is just so powerful. What would you like to share? How do you self-care?
Curtis is here. Oh my God. Long time no see, mister. And you are on mute.
I'm not going to tell you, Emily, while he's still on mute. You look so beautiful today. I wanted to share that too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's nice to see one and all again. Thank you for the invites, Emily. I'm only able to get here once in a while since I'm teaching young adults how to drive an automobile. So I picked up this job here, and sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking. So I'm happy to be alive.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I've missed a long time, but I'm happy that I'm here in sunny Southern California, where it was 78 today. And I'm out with my lovely bride today, shooting 9 holes of golf this morning and playing a little baseball tomorrow after church. So I'm very, very thankful to have her in my life, that she's my helpmeet and helps me meet many things, including feeding my appetite and sustaining me. I appreciate that. So it'll be 20 years since I've been married to this lovely woman. happy for many things. I'm happy for God. I'm happy for family. I'm happy for Happy Neighborhood Project, and I'm happy for this live broadcast. So good to see you guys again, and good to be back. Nice to see you all.
I love that. I love the fact that you are still calling her your bride after so many years. You know, I was just about to say, oh, did you just recently get married? But isn't that beautiful? Like, at what point do we go from my bride to my wife to my spouse? It's just such a beautiful word. It just shows that you're still as in love today as you were the very first day that you got married. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah, so we were talking about, as I mentioned, self-care, because it is the month of love. And I always like sharing that self-care is important. And I don't know if Kurt is able to share what he does. I know that he does a lot to keep busy and not let anything really get him or stop him from doing what he wants to do. Kurt, are you able to come?
I imagine it's hard to water ski in Wisconsin at this time of year.
Yeah. Oh, I actually, Emily, they practice some indoors at this point, right? Is that what he does?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think they practice indoors until like end of April, early May. And they are outdoors.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we
Sometimes I worry about him. He gives so much of himself, you know. He's so selfless and he's always giving and he's always supporting. So I'm glad he can do things that, you know, takes care of him so he can keep on giving.
Yes, he is definitely amazing. Like, and he's got like a bazillion podcasts at World of Ability Network. So definitely check out some of his other podcasts. We've
There we
got
go.
visual.
I got somebody to turn on their video.
Woohoo! Kurt, we're talking about self-care and how busy you are.
Yeah, and look at Kurt. Mr. Lau was on here. Mr. Lau joined us after about a million moons.
Yeah, we got the Kurtz in stereo, double
Yeah,
vision.
Kurt 1 and Kurt 2.
Yeah, the either the Kurt sandwich or the Kurt bookends. So many ways we could take this, Curtis.
Your Kurt boom.
So we were just saying that you have like a bazillion podcasts at the World of Ability Network, and for people to check out many of the other podcasts. And we're also talking about self-care being the month of love and how our imagination is so powerful, and how even though I can't move a whole lot, I have an open space in my apartment where I move around, I dance around, I twirl around. I even do cartwheels. And by the end of all of that, even though I didn't have any real physical movement, I tire myself out because the imagination is so powerful. What you got, Kurt? I know you got lots of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I get tired out talking to you, Denise. So yeah, you are energetic. Our diva, D-E of Denise, B-A of Vargas, diva. All right, diva Las Vegas. Right? So yeah. Well, with Curtis on here, have we been talking about nutrition and skincare and travel and all that kind of good stuff? Curtis, have you been giving us the lowdown or the low down on everything you bring to the table?
Well, I have not, but I always have a secret and I want to share it with people. The secret is, to a long life is to be happy, as you know. But also it helps to look good and feel better, through secret Dead Sea mineral products. And of course, the nutrition products, which I dropped 30 pounds last year on. And of course, I love to travel 2, 3, 4 times a year. So wholesale travel is better than full price. That's what I say. And I always am trying to help people see that we have value and we have, fantastic Dead Sea mineral products and we have nutritional products. And of course, the travel club that I love to promote and help people get out of Wisconsin where it's so cold. Love to help you get to Fiji with your lovely bride, Kurt.
Mhm.
There you go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Mhm. I was also telling Curtis that I love how he talks about his bride after so many years of being married. It's like he just married her the other day. And I said, when do we go from calling our bride or our wife or our spouse? And it's just so refreshing and lovely and beautiful to hear him say bride after so many years of marriage. I honestly thought that he had just gotten married and I just didn't know.
Yeah, Curtis, wow, always fresh and rejuvenating and, just kind of living for the present, right, Curtis?
You bet. Live each day like it was your last because you never know when you're going to go to heaven. So enjoy God's green earth and what he does provide. Even though the lakes are frozen over and you can't water ski, Kurt, you could probably snow ski or ice fish, can't you?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I'm heading back to Pewaukee Lake, and yeah, it's frozen over. We got trucks out there with the ice shanties, and there's supposed to be a winter fest, but right now my car thermometer is toggling between 16 and 17 degrees. There's pretty good wind out here, so they canceled this winter fest, and but we're having a birthday party for one of our alum water skiers at the water ski show. His name is Bill Hunley. He turned 90 years old.
Wow.
So we got a 90-year-old that we got the birthday cake for and all that. So that's what's going on out here. And so, but yeah, and we're gathering at a bike shop actually. So it's an interesting arrangement that we're at this bike shop and they're displaying a bike where you pedal it. It's got a blade in back. It's got a propeller underneath the seat, and it's got some steering fins in front. And apparently there's some good YouTube videos and stuff on this. I'm not up on it, but, I'm a show skier, so I'm thinking, wow, we got to incorporate this that somebody could be pedaling away on to see how this works. Not too many people have seen that, to pedal across the water on waterways.
Sounds like something just for you, Kurt.
Yeah, right. Or why not you, Emily? That could be a way for you to
Well,
get the
that
show.
too. Well, that too. But I thought of you first.
Well, I appreciate that. So good stuff there. So, Barbara, what's going on down by you for recreation? What are people all doing?
You're on mute, Barbara.
You're on mute.
Yeah, I feel funny sharing this, but there were a lot of people on the beach today. It's really a beautiful, beautiful day here. And as far as recreation, you've got the people on the wave runners and the people with the kites, and I haven't seen any earth lights. Guess I've seen those where it's kind of like from Superman days, and they say in the future, you get into your earth lights. Huh? you just like, I don't know, press the button or something, and then you go shoop, you go up in the air and you can zoom around.
Now he's sideways.
Uh,
Uh,
Head sideways.
Well, what beach are you on, Barbara?
Hollywood Beach. It's
Florida?
between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Hollywood Beach.
Okay. So you're on the Gulf, not the Gulf Coast, but you're on the Atlantic coast. Okay.
Yeah, but it's nice, you know. The water's fine. Today was in 70s and 80s even.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to move over there with you guys because it is just cold over here. I actually just literally, as I was muted, just went and turned on my little portable heater because I'm cold. I'm in New York and it's cold. And did I mention it's cold? Because it's cold.
when Denise says it's cold, it's cold.
Yeah, and because we are alive and I'm keeping it clean, but it's cold.
You guys know about the Iceman, Wim Hof?
Oh yeah.
They call him
Oh,
the future of health, the
Yeah.
future of medicine. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be my future because just thinking about him and what he does, I mean, it's amazing how he's able to control his temperature. Now, that would be very interesting. And I would love to be able to control my body temperature to the point that, oh, well, if it's cold outside, I'll just tell my internal thermometer to, move up a couple degrees. And that would be great.
Yeah.
That'd
But
be
it's not
cool.
just, yeah, he's also taught, like he has like young people, there's videos, and he had them put a virus into his body and then he had no problem with it. And they were saying, yeah, well, that's because it's you, Wim Hof. And so he got, I think, 12 of his students to go through the same thing and have the same response that he had. So
Wow.
it's interesting to try to learn from him and all these wild people out there. Joe Dispenza, that I'm not up to that level yet, but they inspire me. They make me want to be a better healer and a
Wow.
better giver on this planet.
That's beautiful. Yeah, well, I just hope that you all have some room for me because if it gets any colder, I'm gonna ship myself and move over there.
All
So,
right, thank you.
You'll have a house guest. But yeah, wow, Curtis, I didn't realize that you did travel as well.
Well, of course I am. I've been doing the travel club for 10 years and been on 26 vacations.
Ooh.
Just trying to help people get out of Dodge and have some fun while they're still here on this earth. A lot of people just hunker down and do nothing, and I'm going like, geez, get out of Dodge, go to New York, go to Florida, go to Hawaii, go on a cruise, go to Walt Disney World. A lot of people say they can't afford it. They can. You're in America. You have a freedom of choice. You have a freedom to save up for that vacation. And you have a freedom to join Club Secret, where you can go for far less than paying for those Wheel of Fortune prices. So yeah, I'm here to help. I don't push, I don't sell. I just try and help people.
Love that. I love
So we
that.
reached out to you for Club, what did you say? Club Fortune? How we
Club
find
Secret.
you to learn
Yeah,
about
his-
Club
his-
Secret?
Yeah,
Club
his
Secret.
company, his business is secret. Club Secret.
Yeah, he's a secret agent, man. That makes me think of the song. Secret agent.
Agent man. Secret agent man.
Ah.
His number.
Right.
They're gonna Christmas dancing.
Ah.
This Buddhist leader that I follow, he thinks that from North America, from the United States, we should have the ability to be able to go back to the countries that our families fled from, to come to the United States and help those countries heal the problems that were happening there that people wanted to leave. That that from here we can really become that strong. And I guess that's partly what you're talking about, Club Secret, that creating the vibration, the faith that we have the ability to do that, right? That we're edging on that. We're coming to that.
Yeah. And it's so interesting that
Rip, you
earlier
off
we
your
were
mic.
saying that to live to the fullest because we never know when we're going to leave. I always tell people that we all know our birth date, but we don't know our expiration date, right? And there's a difference between a want and a need, right? It's when you say that you can't afford to go on vacation or you can't afford whatever it is. Yeah, you can, because it's interesting. I just heard this the other day on a YouTube video that I was watching, and it really made me think, wow, that is so true. That we all have our needs that need to be met, shelter, food, clothing, those things, those are absolute needs. But I can look around my house, my apartment, and I'm sure everyone else can look around and see a lot of things that we have that are not needs. They were wants, and we figured out a way to get it, right? Now, I'm not saying everyone needs to get in debt. Please don't do that, right? But if there's a way that we can save up a little here and there, you don't need everything that you have in your surroundings right now. You figured out a way to get it. So even if it was $10 here, $20 there, $5 here, a latte, don't have a latte every day, have only 3 for the week, figure out other ways that you can have really whatever you want. We just have to get creative and just write a goal down and strive to go towards that goal. So yeah, it was really interesting. We can have whatever we want.
Curtis, I wonder if that's how your program works.
That's how what, Barbara?
Your program to help people be able to travel. What Denise was saying, where you're putting away so much money until it becomes real.
Yes, ma'am. You just join the club. You pay $65 a month, and you get the wholesale prices of hotels, rental cars, Disney vacations, cruises. Yeah, you just need to join the club. 2 vacations a year, and more than pays for itself. So, just people. Many people, like you were talking about, ladies. Many people don't plan to fail; they fail to plan. And it's so true with a lot of people. When they're retired, they really do retire and they don't live. They sit at home and go, they've got no purpose. Well, you don't have to travel all the time to have purpose, but you do need to recharge and rejuvenate your batteries every year. That makes you a more productive and happy person. So, don't, don't sit at home and mope and complain. Just look forward to something and get out. It just amazes me that Americans have 2 weeks to a month vacation every year, and only 15% of Americans actually use their vacation time. They sit at home on a stay vacation or a staycation. The happiest people in the world are living in Northern Europe, it's been reported. Obviously, it helps when the government gives them 2 months vacation time, but the companies that they work for require them to take that vacation time. And those people in Norway and Sweden and Finland, they're the happiest because they rejuvenate, they recharge, and a lot of companies force them not to take their cell phones and technology. So, Americans can learn a lot by that. They can learn to get out, appreciate the planet that they're on, whether it's Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or whether it's Bermuda. So I just encourage people to have fun, whether it's through our travel club or something else. Get out and take your spouse, take your friend, go on a road trip and see this beautiful country that we live in. Many people don't like my cousins in Michigan, in Detroit, they don't leave within 50 miles of their home ever. And it just blows me away, you know. So I'm really happy to say that I've been into 43 states. I've got several more to go, 7 more. And I encourage everyone to be happy and have fun. And like you said, Denise, don't go in debt to do it. No, plan, pay off your bills, pay off your credit card debt, and live by paying cash. That's what I learned with Dave Ramsey, and that's what my wife and I ascribe to do. So back to you, Emily. Back to you, Denise.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wow, you know what? I can't believe that almost an hour went by. We've had so much fun here on World of Ability. And like Curtis says, there's a whole world out there. And we do hope that you come back every week, because our conversation, you just never know where it's going to go, right? We might have Kurt driving, even though he was driving a little sideways. I don't know, Curtis, how safe. He might need to go to your driving school. I think he was, driving sideways there. I don't think that's the way to do it. But
I don't think so either.
Either way, we were so glad to have him here with us for a while. Got to see his neck of the woods when the camera was showing us the, beautiful areas there. And of course, thank you, Barbara, for being with us. Always have such a great time with you. You are a beautiful soul. You just give so much of your time. And
Denise, Emily, should we not talk about February 22nd, because that's coming right up, and how important that is?
Absolutely. Emily is going to definitely share that before we head off. So again, thank you, Curtis, for being here with us. And Emily will take the rest of the show away. Emily, you with us?
Oh, yes, I am here.
So do you want to tell us about February 22nd, which is next week?
Yeah, it's coming up on Tuesday already, so like 3 days away. But February 22nd is it's a fundraiser to help combat against military suicide. And it's a 12-hour event from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central. There is going to be an in-person and online part of the event. The in-person is at the Kalahari Resort. I can't talk. Kalahari Resort in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. We are also having a special veteran devotion event at 2:00 Central on Tuesday. And also Zach Clayton of Community Pay It Forward is running a 22-hour podcast of sorts. And so anybody who is interested in donating, sponsoring, being a part of, being involved in any way with the event, to please let me know. Sorry, it's gonna be a yearly event, so if it's not this year, maybe next year. So anyway, it's going for a good cause.
Awesome. Emily, could you also just share in the chat where people can go for our special HMP masterclass that we're going to be having on Tuesday? And we will also share it on Facebook and on YouTube. But we want to share it here in the chat as well. So you can go today to register. We're going to have some great speakers there as well. So definitely come support this cause. We the number is actually much higher than 22 a day. We really want to go the opposite direction. We want to get that number down to 0. So please come and support us. Support our vets. They protect us. They give so much of themselves. Let's just be there for them. All right. So 222 to save 22. We love you all. Thank you for being here with us. Kurt, I know you're kind of a little frozen there. Thank you for putting on this show. Thank you, Emily, for hosting the show every week and for all our wonderful guests. We will see you again same time next week, but definitely let's see you Tuesday first to help us save our veterans. All right. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. God bless you all. Have a great weekend.